Hello, and welcome to an episode of the Force Commander's Guide to Purging Nurgle. I'm Jade Star, joined as always by my favorite friend who really puts the ED in EDF, Olish.
That's rude.
Well, we've got one mission left over from the last time the Bloom popped up. We have intel on it. We get to see the Bell guys again, the Blightbringers. It's great.
You better not bringing the assassin on this one.
I'm not, don't worry. He's still healing, anyway.
Tier 3 grenades. Definitely worth taking.
Depends what kind of grenade it is.
I mean, there's only so many grenades, though.
That is true. Hey, wound recovery speed. Alright, at long last. Final warp core, and I have a lot of surveyors. But I really want Barracks 2 and Meditation Chamber 2. I'm probably going to want Agorium 2 as well. So I got a lot of things I kind of want in a hurry. Barracks is faster. But Meditation Chamber may be more useful at this moment. Really like that there's upgrades for experience gain.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ways that they ensure that you can train people up. Your barracks increase gets you more starting experience.
Yep, yeah.
This is not one of the fun, glorious deeds, but it's a lot more doable early on when you don't have that much in the way of mastercrafted stuff.
Oh,
anyways.
yeah. Oh, yeah. If this pops up early, although presumably there's some sort of sanity checking, because if it was available too early, it would be almost trivial for large requisition. And we could still probably do just fine taking it now. I don't want to. It's also just kind of a hassle for me to just go around and de-equip everybody and then re-equip them just to comply with it. But the real reason, especially, I don't want to do it is because Tarn there has a special silencer, one of the level 2 ones I think we were excited about the previous video. And I'm going to take out a silencer for like the first time in ever this playthrough.
Life signs detected. Greater Bloom Spawn is initiating conjugal process.
Then we have no time to waste, brothers. You must destroy it before it expels its seeds through the warp.
To make that really sound dirty.
I mean, conjugal process. If it wouldn't get your video absolutely flagged, you should edit in some, like, Barry Manilow or something.
Just like the first, like,
just
5 notes of the
Yeah.
Pornhub intro or whatever it is. Which I know because I watch Uncle Roger, and he does that every time he makes a dirty joke.
Uncle Roger is great.
Yeah. Ah, man. Yeah. I just watched one recently. It's really great that he's helping out the smaller YouTubers like Gordon Ramsay. It's just not fair.
And yet, I bet you couldn't make fried rice.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably fry rice.
That is not the same as making fried rice.
Do you mean egg fried rice?
I mean, egg fried rice is one kind of fried rice.
Yeah, okay, I mean, you're still probably right. I mean, it's only got 3 ingredients. You know, egg, fry, and rice.
Sure. We'll go with that.
You don't watch enough Uncle Roger, evidently. Alright, so this mission. We've seen one of these before, so it's not going to be too different. I do like this map. It's chaotic, broken, kind of interesting. Really, I'm out here to just field test this silencer. And it's actually a pretty nice silencer at 6 damage. That's, what, 50% more than a base silencer, and really addressing my complaints that if it's a heavy weapon, it ought to be doing more than a standard Stormbolter.
Yeah, but I think you can get 6 standard Stormbolters at tier 2. The real joy of the silencer comes from the extended range giving you effectively 1 or 2 damage, or at the very least not costing AP that you might otherwise have to spend.
Oh, right, because of the damage drop-off on range. Yeah, good point.
And, you know, the secondary stuff. Instead of Psybolt, you can actually silence people with a silencer.
Yeah. That was going to be my alternate intro. My friend who really puts the P in silencer.
We bring doom!
Tarn is still only level 2, and we're skills and I didn't tick, so he's like 1 away from rapid reload rather than going into the silencer tree. So he doesn't actually have the skill benefits to the silencer yet, which would include, I think, 3 more range and something else. I can't remember.
This is basically sort of like a demonstration of what it would be like if an interceptor had a silence.
Yeah, almost. It would be a little bit worse because ammo? Although I think the silencer has a pretty good amount of ammo, although this one I think has 1 less maximum capacity to, in exchange for its higher than usual damage.
Yes, Commander.
Yep. Look, these guys thought they had cover.
Taking position.
I think one of the other fun things with the extended range is that, as you mentioned, interceptors. Silencers are real good for being able to shoot people far away and triggering cover fire. I mean, you can probably find all sorts of uses for it. And, you know, my memory is not always the best. I'm oftentimes colored by past experiences that have since long exceeded their expiry date in memories I should trust. So, you know, it's good for me to reevaluate a silencer every once in a while.
I saw the frustrated mouse wiggle.
Yeah.
You noticed that there was, in fact, another pod that you didn't want to activate.
Yeah.
Your command.
This is kind of a weird activation. I can't really advance into cover. I have, like, the bridge a little bit, the benches over there, and then where the Justicar is now. And then a huge gap.
I mean, this one isn't even really your fault. You had a pod that walked into you.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna happen. It's like, there's a pod outside of visual range, and it walked into visual range.
Executed.
And it just kind of happens like that sometimes.
Yeah. And this isn't really that bad, normally. But we're on a timer. Like, normally, what are these guys going to do? They have a couple of places they can try to advance to, but if they advance to, I can just leap on them with the interceptor. But if we're all just going to sit here at, like, 15 squares from each other and just kind of, like, exchange, like, mean looks across this gaping hellmaw under the bridge, time's going to be wasting.
I mean, it's fine to sit back and force the enemy to approach you, which they absolutely will do.
Die! Die! Die!
I say is that heavy stubber does not, in fact, approach you.
No, the heavy stubbers usually don't.
No.
They like to get to about 14 tiles away from somebody and then suppress them.
Die! Die! Die!
Strong we shall stand.
I suppose you were spot on for these guys, though. That guy's at least in cover. The other one, I think, is just wide out in the open.
Kill them all!
And that guy, like I said,
I think that's also cover.
Yeah.
This is
they're
a
just-
little bit of an annoyance, though.
How spread out they are.
Well, they're pretty spread out. You've got suppression, which hurts to trigger, but, you know, you can at least, if you intercept, teleport out of that one. And then actually running towards the heavy stubber, you're going to trigger that pod. And it really feels like
Destroyed, Commander.
advancing last turn was not a good move. Like, having Storm run forward and advance isn't also going to be a good move, just to have the AP to really benefit. And
Yeah.
you're sort of stuck here. You're wasting time. I say waste. You're forced to waste time dealing with this and not being able to move forward.
So, there's one thing that I'm not sure if was evident or if you were picked up on. The blip to the... Well, So that blip there north is the pod. The one on the other side is actually like the tree or the bloom spawn, and isn't guarded. So I can actually push up left from this orientation without ruining my situation.
Oh, I did not see that. I saw the circles, and I assumed that was pod.
Praise the Emperor. What is your will?
No, that one up there is just the bloom spawn that makes the spreader tougher.
It's extremely funny to me that walking directly in front of suppression apparently triggers it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you walk in front of that little red line, they will shoot you.
I mean, it makes sense, but also doesn't... It's not something I would necessarily have expected.
Right. I feel the same way. I probably in one of my early playthroughs, I think I absolutely didn't expect it and just ran across it to try to, you know, deal with it, and just got shot.
Yeah, there's the vent.
But I mean, it is well animated. Like, the shots are continuous. You are walking through an active line of fire. It makes perfect sense that you're going to get shot by it.
This reminds me how at one point in development in new XCOM, they just had units taking pot shots casually as part of their idle animations.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was great. I wish they'd kept with it. I think the design decision, though, was that it made the battlescape too messy and too much noise to information.
And I get that, but it seems like the sort of thing that you could alternately turn on.
Yeah,
just
it would have been cool.
You know, once you can deal with that sort of thing. It's like when playing in an MMO where you turn off your other party effects so that you can more focus on the boss. And then once you understand how to read the boss's stuff, you can turn party effects back on. You have party effects turned off.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
At some point, probably 6 years ago, you turned it off.
Has it really been that long since I played 14?
It was a larger than 5-year gap.
Alright.
Your faith shall be tested.
The only reason I know that is because the guild maintains a last logged in X number of days ago.
Oh, yeah. You mean there's the means of telling that amount of time other than the fish that it was still in my mail?
I mean, that fish could have said anything.
Watch over.
Well, yes. But the fish also has a date for when it was delivered, which was something like 1,400 days ago.
Yeah, that just means that somebody sent you that. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that was when you logged on. I could have sent you a fish 2 months ago. You wouldn't have known.
Well, right, but the Mog would have told me it was only a 2-month-old fish.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you logged in 2 months ago. It just means it was
right.
that.
But I would have checked my mail, is the thing. Like, that fish was sent to me during a period where I wasn't logging in to clean out my mail.
Right.
Yeah. So at least I have a minimum estimation of when that fish occurred. Oh, we can find something here. Like 6 targets with this? That's pretty good, right?
It's potentially pretty good.
I don't mean, like the gunner and the priest are real far away. It would probably get some value out of that.
I certainly don't think the apothecary is going to find a better option for that 1 AP and 2 willpower.
Yeah. Really struggling to find somewhere that's safe for the Justicar to advance to. And, really isn't.
Make it as hazardous as possible.
I think I was looking for an angle to explode the front 2 guys into the pit.
It's not a trivial angle to arrange.
It will be done.
I think if you did it wrong, you would risk knocking one of them over there onto the
I'm
little
here to serve.
lip, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, that one tile, yeah.
It is funny to me that there is a certain spell that you can equip that just takes the seed.
They're really useful.
It doesn't even cost you an AP. It lasts essentially long enough for any of the seeds that are going to be in a mission. For anything that's not like a higher difficulty mission. Don't you get like 5 uses out of it?
I think it's like 3 or 4 base, but most of my apothecaries take the extra servo skull pocket and the uses.
Ready.
Alright. Wanted to make sure I got all those seeds before we kill anything. Right there. No. Maybe that gets 5? That gets 5. Okay, so I can probably only get 5 of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
giving up on knocking him into the cliff.
Yeah, seems like it. Probably should have hit Scourge on him before that, but, I mean, now half of them are at the point where Scourge is kind of a waste.
I mean, if you'd scourged the group, and then you throw the grenade, you'll have a couple of people who may not be within range to do much, who will then run forward and bleed to death.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, certainly that melee-only one there in the middle of the platform by himself. I forgot about these plants that popped up. I hate these guys. 4 damage armor piercing. Just this giant chasm is really just causing problems.
It's probably not close enough that you can power hop over, right? Oh, yeah. It's too many squares. Or storm.
Yeah, kind of stuck out of position now. I mean, I can close the gap, but I really try to find places I can teleport to where you can kill things and then have a safe place to end his turn.
This is where teleport gotten you a lot of value.
Your orders.
Maybe not on that last move, but somewhere in here, yeah, for certain.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the idea of, like, being able to teleport strike and then teleport out. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah,
Firing
gotcha.
on target.
But especially, like, prior to grenading them out. There was a bunch of guys,
Mercy in
you know,
death.
really close together, and
Right.
teleport strike is a way for you to spend some willpower to do a bunch of damage. Like, there are better ways to do it, in fact, but if you're already running into melee,
Yeah.
doing it with teleport strike, hitting a couple other people is just free. You know, it doesn't cost additional.
I think I wasn't really a threat, but I think I'm just out of position or range for much else. I'm still not even entirely in danger. Like, those two, like, poxwalkers come up the ramp and want to fight the Justicar. They're not going to accomplish much. And after the grenade, if the halberd gets first strike on any of them, they're dead.
Not quite a guarantee, but it's not a whole lot of not to.
Yeah, how often do I fail a pair of, what, like 75% chances? It's like failing a pair of 3+ or something.
Your orders.
Still trying to get some value out of scourging.
Yeah. Guess just wasn't there today. We'll get some next time, I think.
Well, it's not like you hit the 3 back, you know, like the grenade realistic cost.
Here.
I think I'm mostly just annoyed that I don't really have anywhere good for the Interceptor just to start to end their turn. And somebody is going to get hit by the Preacher's psychic bolt or whatever it's called for 3. And just whatever.
Almost wondering
As you will.
if you could actually. No, it probably worked out. I was gonna say you could actually charge the creature off the cliff by bumping into him, but I don't think he's quite.
No,
I
yeah.
think you had the AP with the hook.
Right. It's also the question of whether or not that tree would stop him.
I mean, we've played it with golf with your friends.
Have we?
Bank shot that. Isn't that the one where you can have the horrible, like, cone-shaped golf ball?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't questioning whether we had played golf with your friends with each other. I was debating about your use of the word enough. Like, can you really ever have too much or enough golf with your friends?
They will not see me here. Loaded.
Presumptively, yeah.
I mean, if you get stuck with the cone-shaped ball a couple of times, yeah. And there's the cursor. I'm looking up at the clock, realizing that I have burned, what, like 3-4 turns dealing with... Well, I guess this isn't one pod anymore, and the other one walked in on it. It's just 3-4 turns just spent dealing with cultists is kind of getting to me.
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable amount of time
Yes,
to
come
spend
on.
on 2 pounds. But you're going to end your turn here, still not have made all that much forward progress.
Yeah, exactly.
Armed and ready.
At some point, you really just need to run in, take the hits, and actually kill.
Your orders?
Yeah.
This is almost a point where, not necessarily Quicksilver, but
Oh, okay.
Gate
You know?
of Infinity to have
Yeah.
solved that problem 3 turns ago might have been
Yeah.
a really efficient.
I can definitely see that. Nah.
But I mean, that's hindsight.
Foe
Yeah.
destroyed, Commander. Force.
Gate of Infinity is so valuable. Feels awful to burn it on anything other than, you know, the decisive part of the mission.
Right.
But even though there is an actual giant enemy crab in the enemy roster, don't treat everything as if it's a giant robotic crab. You have things to use. Spend your abilities. You don't get anything from holding on to it by the end of the mission.
Oh, I remember this move now. Oh, this one makes me sad. Only the UI defaulted to showing me my ammo instead of the fact that my melee weapon has an unlimited amount of ammo.
I initially thought that you were doing that to set up the charge.
Well, that's what it turns into, except, Tree says no.
I mean, I can see with the movement where the trees start. Makes sense why.
The Emperor lights are.
Oh, I thought I was gonna go through the tree.
I mean, it's terrain that it doesn't let you stand on. Assume that it's just effectively a wall.
Oh, you know, good thinking. I hadn't thought about that, that the stuff that you go through is all terrain you can climb over. And... Well, no, that's not entirely true. I am... Actually, now I'm less sure. The plinth that this guy is hiding behind, I thought I could go through that and destroy it as a terrain object.
I mean, it may be a... I noticed when you had and selected that the tree was not someplace that you could stand up or climb on.
Right.
I know that there are at least
Your
some
command.
wall-like objects, doors that you can absolutely charge straight through.
Yeah. And other wall-like objects, like walls, you can charge through.
Can you charge through just like regular walls?
Oh yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
Indeed. Man, I'm trying to remember what fucking internal math I was doing when I was looking at this. I was really disappointed about how this turn shook out with not being able to charge this guy off the cliff. Running out of ammo.
This is what uncertainty looks like.
Yeah.
The warp charge for wave flag is very good. You're spending more willpower for and willpower to the first target, so it's like you're spending a little bit less willpower. But a full extra turn actions. It's so good.
Yeah.
More than you get for Quicksilver, although Quicksilver doesn't cost that 3 willpower or 4 willpower, whatever wave flag does.
2 and then warp charge to 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Although the warp charge, as you point out, is a net spend of 3.
So to the unworthy.
And look, the problem's not completely solved, but
Yeah, like, whatever, you chip damage me 1, but you also drained willpower, so now Justicar is kind of low.
Fall, monster!
So this whole encounter, and I'm looking at the timer up there, being like 3 turns. Oh, it's just a mess. Like,
but
the
it'll
terrain
still be
was
3 turns.
Oh yeah, the way the combat works. Yeah, I end this. I got time to go hit some terrain objects, recover some time. Yeah, you're right.
Well, actually, is that necessarily going to be true? Because you did see the tree over there. Is that tree active?
Oh,
the last guy.
Yeah, good point.
Is combat going to end?
I mean, what is the tree going to do at me? Like, blow violent leaves?
I mean, if it's alerted and part of the initiative form, so to speak.
Right. I was gonna say.
I legitimately don't know whether or not it's going to
Standing ready.
Yeah, same.
That will end after this.
Because I don't remember.
Curse it! Cannot focus!
Stabbed him with my
Destroyed,
mind.
Commander.
Yeah, I was saying that was missing a combat animation. Still kind of worked.
Hey, so besides the bloom spawn, which you kept in mind, you know what else I forgot?
I am with you.
The other little tiny armor-piercing thornberry bush up by the Purgator on the bridge.
Mark is right there. Could
Yeah.
deal with a question mark?
Yeah, no, I think so. Wouldn't it be great if I could see his ammo? There we go. Yeah, 4 damage. We're losing a little bit from cover and... yeah.
Firing all
Yep.
as you command. Blessed are our arms.
Hopeful.
Glory to Cyclops.
Oh, I think your concerns were right. Time is still in combat phase because of the gnarled root tree thingy over there.
Yeah, hobbled.
Right?
I mean, to one extent, Purgator doesn't necessarily care, but
Advancing.
To an
Well-
extent, that was 40% of my movement. It's just taken off for a couple of turns.
I was going to say, it's like, well, you still got 3 turns, but wait, you just opened up the box.
Yeah. Purified the vent, I guess, to be more in-game accurate. I don't know what they're doing.
Look, I'm a 14 player, and Final Fantasy 14 is a long-standing tradition of referencing any mechanic on the way that it first appeared.
Okay.
It will be done.
So if you're playing a bomb defusal mission, and you've got the little radio towers that you blow up to add more time, or box fuel, I don't know.
I mean, the only bomb defusal I remember in 14 is Copper Bell Mines, and that was like, you had to build a bomb and then...
In XCOM, you had the bomb.
Oh,
you can extend the timer.
You were shooting nodes or something, yeah. Or are you thinking of the crane game in XCOM 2, where you had to mark the boxes and Fulton them out before the Advent came in and played gotcha with them and just yoinked them into the sky?
Look, it all just kind of blurs together.
Right.
Sanctified my rounds.
Alright. So, at least combat isn't over, but it's under control. We hit a few vents. We have a bit of time. We're not in a dire situation here. It's just kind of an oddly annoying situation now. And
time is very scant.
Yes. In-game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that was really weird and ominous. Like, do you know something I don't?
At once.
Shade, guys.
No.
Firing now.
That poor EDF lady.
It's so ominous when that line happens.
I know! It's just the weird... I don't know, is it jank or bad transition or kind of choppy writing? Is this weird form of charm to it? Somewhere around here, I was going to say, though, that we stayed on top of it for a remarkably well amount of time for what was kind of just a slog of like 20 cultists and dealing with bad terrain. So the timer is not great, but there's a vent right there. We're about done with this gnarled maw thingy. And it's going to be a while until we get to the bloom spawn, so we discussed
I can't help
it.
but notice the tentacle in the back. Oh, no.
Look, the tentacles are everywhere. Just don't fall in any dark holes, okay?
He was just off the edge of the stage.
Yeah, no,
just a moment.
It's just wiggling around there in the back, right? Yeah. Look, we'll get to it, okay?
Now combat is over.
Yeah, see
4
that?
turns, you got a full set of AP.
Yeah.
You got some distance to cover.
I do have some distance to go, but this is distance that has vents, so it's more or less fine. It gives me time to talk about the design philosophy element that I wanted to talk about for this video, and we've touched upon it. Like, it goes hand in hand kind of with all wishes. You don't need to be perfect in this game, room for error, etc. Is that one thing I really like about Chaos Gate's just design core, as opposed to XCOM or just basically any sort of game in recent memory, is that it has a lot of mechanics in place to avoid the kind of the rich get richer snowballing of things. Like, oh, you S-ranked this mission, so you get a shinier sword, which makes doing well in the next mission easier, so you get a higher rank there, and you get a reward, and that makes the next mission, like, snowballing rewards that make it easier to get successive rewards. The rich get richer idea. So for lack of a better term, I really like that they have baked in catch-up mechanics, for lack of a better term, that, if you get injured, it's not like some permanent negative tier character. I mean, sure, you have so many resilience and you might lead to death, but at the same time, once you've built the Apothecary Cybernetic Lab, or whatever it is, getting injured leads to a permanent character boost. So your soldier is actually stronger than they would have been if they remained perfectly healthy throughout. And same for the Fallen. With the Commune, you can get skill points, or you can retrain. But being able to spend Requisition to retrain, get skill points from communing.
At your service.
Yeah, if you
Advancing.
even prior to that, if you commune, you were spending more skill.
Yep.
Functionally, if you had enough bodies in the freezer, you were better off taking skill.
And kind of similar, but a little bit more abstract. It's the idea that harder difficulty missions have a kind of a hidden benefit to them. The more bloom is on a planet, the more enemies are spawn that contain bloom seeds, and that's actually a real benefit. More seeds means either not having to wait on research in the library, or more seeds means more purity seals to upgrade your mastercrafted gear, and that's the real benefit. You can absolutely run short on purity seals, or seeds for purity seals, very quickly.
Upgrading all the mastercraft is...
Yeah.
You will never have enough seeds. Until eventually you... Well, there's only so many character slots.
Right.
You know, you can only acquire mastercraft gear. Mastercraft.
Yeah.
You know, at a rate of essentially a couple of pieces per mission.
Yeah. So I really like that there was thought and design elements built into the idea that losing or being set back shouldn't be kind of a slow, slippery slope into falling behind the curve.
Drawn by my clanger?
That setbacks are recoverable from, and kind of, even in a perverse way, advantageous. Now, it also gets into the fucking Steam forums of people being like, oh, this commune thing, the best thing to do is to farm up level 9s and then get them intentionally murdered to feed their skill points into the others. Like, no. You don't need to do that. If you are at the point where you can just willfully sacrifice level 9s for skill points, you are at the point where you don't need to do that. You're playing well enough.
Destroy that bloom spawn now.
But
I mean,
also,
there is sort of the argument that after hitting level 9, after that, murdering people for extra skill points is the only way to provide it.
What is your will?
Right.
But, yeah, functionally, it is not necessary to feed extra skill points to any of your knights to tackle any of the challenges.
Yeah. But specifically, people are like, this is a level of power I can get to that I can't get any other way, therefore I'm now incentivized to intentionally mill my own units down into skill points for the other ones. And, I mean, going back to last video, which I misquoted, somebody correct me, Soren Johnson's quote was, players will optimize all the fun out of a game. Not Sid Meier's, although they work together. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. Because that's a quote that's been in my head for a long time. It's bad, it's been misattributing it. Also, I teleported into Fuck City. Just absolute densely packed with Nurgle everywhere. If the spreader wasn't there, this would have been a really great fight for like Scourge or the secondary fire mode on the silencer or everything. And I'm also very upset that the interceptor landed down where he did, because he was down there on the stairs and can't get a run up onto the plant, so I have to spend an AP to get him up there next to the plant.
You command.
And here's where order of operations is important. You know, always get your support fire 1, but I'm glad I already checked this and remembered, or just kept it in mind, that the spread attack on the silencer depletes all your ammo.
Firing on target.
Get a better spread.
Oh yeah, like just because the stairs and everything. Like if there'd been a little bit more space, or the Purgator had landed a little bit more towards the right, or where the teleport reinforcements are coming in. Oh yeah, could have coned and hit everything.
Yeah, but with Gate of Infinity, you don't really get to pick where anybody lands. There can be a bit of, but it's a little bit unfortunate that I'd have to think about a worse positioning for Gate of Infinity to have jumped you in.
Right.
Just in terms of like physically where your knights got dropped. If they had been dropped further to the right instead of to the left down the stairs,
Executed.
that's basically at least 2 fewer AP that would have had to spend on additional people.
Right, exactly.
It's not going to matter. Just kill the blooms. But
Right.
Face me! Glory to Xiphos!
feels bad to be able to consciously recognize that, like, yeah, 2 AP that I really should
No
have had
match for the Emperor's
kind of
chosen.
got hit by one of the very few random elements.
Unleash me.
Yeah.
Unleash me.
Was I intentionally feeding Storm this kill? Typically, I don't worry too much about feeding kills to people. Aside from like mission objectives, like this blue big spread is worth 50, maybe 75 with the
plague
upgrade.
god will rage at
That's
our
a good
victory today.
Don't give up now!
Oh, only 32? Ew, really? Alright. That was more.
It's still a fairly sizable chunk for
Wait a minute.
something that you can finish off.
Doing math. 18. It would be really weird, because he's the devoted practitioner, and he takes more XP to level. Maybe he doesn't take more XP, but earns less per kill. And then they have the milestones all at the same place, it's just that he earns less. I think it would be easier to program that it's a modifier to negative gain rate, rather than to have to reevaluate where the level ups are.
It would depend on how the system is set up.
Yeah. Right. What was that grenade? Was that the red grenade?
Psycho Stroke. That was the
gross. Yeah.
If
that was
honestly,
a little more predictable.
As a tier 3, it's fine. I would probably have argued for spending the requisition to get up anyways, just because tier 3 Psycho Stroke grenade is never showing loot pool. Once you pick up an item,
It's 3 requisition to get rid of it, though.
once you pick up an item, you never have to worry about it being loot pool ever again.
Well, you say that, but
I remember the early.
yeah.
We're both on board with what we think there.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick up these swords.
And
I think, or am I looking at the? Oh no, I think I'm not. I'm gonna dump it because I want to have 8 requisition for when Angry Space Grandpa calls.
Soon this is next. Yep, far away.
It's actually like 27 days. We're definitely gonna have another set of blue missions before then. It's just that was not information I had in my head at the time of recording. That is relevant information that I wish was displayed at that point, but I can see why that was overlooked by design team. Just because it seems so non-contextual at the end of a mission.
Wiggling the mouse to say where you're going to go next.
Yep. The mouse cursor is my great communicator, from past Jade to present Jade.
Yeah, and despite how it looked like that was a sort of awful start, it took almost nothing.
Yeah, true.
You ended with all 5 turns spare on the turn timer.
Yeah, those maps are usually fairly generous with the vents, and I think I ran the interceptor on like a divergent path to make sure I picked up an extra 1 or 2. So typically you can break even, or maybe only lose a turn or 2 across the map. Just getting bogged down in that middle quagmire for like 5 turns was the worst of it.
31 days.
Yeah. We'll definitely
plenty of
have
time
more
to
to
do. But
yeah, I could have spent.
But wasn't.
No. But only 12 days until the Vindicare is ready. You know, it takes about 12 days to get to.
Finally going to the fireworks.
Why do people keep saying that one?
It's a Simpsons reference.
Simpsons okay. Then yes, we are going to the craft world next episode. Well, I guess that's I have nothing to tease out on the outro now. Join us next time as we do in fact go to the craft world. I swear, 100% legit promise. Tune in next time. Like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, I'm turning this spaceship around.